Are we here? Are we on? There we go. That's so much better. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. As I completely forgot to write in the title, it's Father's Day. Not that that's relevant to anything we're doing today. Today is just another day. We all have mothers, we all have fathers, and we're going to get through it. See, Mother Earth, does that mean that the earth slept with God? Is God the Father, and he would have created Earth, but then that would make Earth be more like daughter Earth. She births things, but who births Earth? It's something for you all to think about. Let's get a look at these right now. They're Paisley, they're oddballs, they're wonderful, they're delightful, they're hip, they're happening, they're now. I have some coffee. It's brand new coffee. I don't remember the name of it, but I do want to say I will be ordering Claudio's coffee and trying it and liking it no matter how it tastes. So that'll be a nice thing because it's enough with this Prince Nana shit. Claudio had coffee before Nana. I had coffee before Nana. Danhausen had coffee before Nana. He doesn't drink. He's not in the game. I think it's a conspiracy, and I'm going to blow the lid off of it. I do also want to say, please, for the love of God, go watch the latest AEW on AEW's YouTube channel with my longtime colleague, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. Go like, go watch, go comment, go share. Josh is brand new to the company. Encourage him. Things are going to go well. Things are going to go great. Here is the picture that we showed on the episode. I'm sure I'll post it later. Here's what fucking babies we were. Absolute, complete, total babies. I don't even know who the fucking guy in the middle is. It doesn't matter. Look at what babies we are. So that's how far back that interview goes. It means a lot to me. I don't know if it means a lot to him. It means a lot to his wife, Jade, maybe his kids. Go like, go watch, go comment, go share. Go tell everyone what a lovely father he is. He talks to his kid on the show. Isn't that great? Let's talk to some people. Gavin Day said good morning. Mia said good morning. James said good morning. Mikey has been a member for 31 months and said happy Father's Day. Dara said good morning, my wonderful cult family. So good to be with you after a pretty rough week. Even set my alarm to make sure I wouldn't sleep through the stream. Well, you're here now. My Sanity's here. Kevin is here. Enjoy some coffee and tell us about your travels. My leg is peeling. That one time I went out by the pool or in the boat, you can't really see, but it's all peeling here. And you can see it on the Hay episode, the tan line on my ankles, because I wore my shoes at the pool like a moron, and I'm regretting it. I'm never going in the sun ever again. Manuel said, favorite Muppet Show guest of all time. Oh, boy. Vincent Price episode is very good. The Milton Berle episode is very good. Gilda's was great. I might have to go with Ethel Merman. For what it is, for what I enjoy, I'll say Ethel Merman. But ask me 5 minutes from now and it'll change. Christine said good morning. Happy Father's Day. Mike, Cam, Mia, Efren is here. Mia said, how many wrestlers have coffee? Too many at this point. Gavin Day said, my wife thought your underwear said dad balls. No, it says oddballs, which are I think dad balls are pretty normal. I think most dads have balls. Nell said, morning, who is he sassing about coffee? I'm not saying. Leo said, have you ever used a bike at the gym with an itchy anus? It's awful. It's because you're not getting deep enough on it. You have to widen your stance. Mike said, you were so giddy during the episode. Well, I was just, I was reminiscing about how far we've come. Miss Annie said, how is it decided which words are beeped and which aren't on Hay? It seems like a word may be beeped once and the next time it was said. So originally, there was a rule that you can't swear without beeping in like the first 30 seconds or minute, or else they'll demonetize it. So that was the rule. And the early Hays, when I say the early Hays, I mean maybe the first 60 episodes, 70 episodes, most of the shit was just flying free, and it was great. And then there was some rule saying no, everything has to be bleeped. So then they came down hard. All of a sudden, we were PG, and there was a lot of shit we couldn't say. A lot of weird things were bleeped. Stuff like jacking off, for instance. I don't think that should count as something that needs to be bleeped. And now I think we've loosened it back up. I also think we've missed a few because a lot of them are under their breath and it's a lot of beeping. One that comes to mind is the one with Paul White in bed. I think he says fucking. And you can't, I guess nobody caught it because he says it free and clear and it's great. So I don't know how it's decided, to be honest with you. Red Dog said, we need details on what happened last Sunday. Thank you for remembering. If you recall, last Sunday I was in a villa, an Italian villa, and I was stopped by horn honking and a woman outside screaming at the top of her lungs. And since it's been recorded, I was able to give it to a few Italian friends I have who speak Italian to get it translated. Unfortunately, the woman speaks a dialect that neither of them are familiar with, but they understood that she is alone, she's all by herself, and there's no one there to help her, and she's angry about it. And someone closed a door on someone, and she can't get in. That was the gist of what I have some of it. See if I can play a little. Let's see if anyone understands this. So there you go. Should give you a pretty good gist of how things went. Nail said, "Where's your little map that you're standing on?" I'm fucking freeballing it, raw dogging it. Nail said, "Oh yeah, the Italian dispute continued. Did you find out what was happening?" That's what was happening. Purple said, "Thanks to you, I very much enjoyed Ethel Merman's disco album, available on YouTube for those interested, where she sings the same song she always sings over a disco beat." Mikey said, "I've woken up this Father's Day to my son insisting on calling me by my dead father's name and a card with a picture of our dog who passed." Mikey, I think your child is from The Sixth Sense. I think either he's a ghost or you are, and I would absolutely look into that. Ash said, "Good morning, sir. Hello, friends." Efren said, "Did you enjoy the Tony Awards?" I did not get to see them at all. I normally like to watch them live. I was not able to. The time difference prevented me. So then I missed them. I don't want to go back and watch clips. I'd like those kind of award shows I'd like to have on and watch the things roll out, you know? It's a shame. Leo said, "What about an itchy anus during a wrestling match?" That much happened, and it gets scratched. Red Dog said, "Happy Father's Day to my fathers in chat." Speaking of fathers, which has nothing to do with anything. The wonderful Christine sent me a bunch of shit. And now that I'm back and I've seen it, I want to really open it all. It'd be incredibly sweet. This one here, if you ever wear full-length socks again, it says, very, very kind of Christine. Oh, they're Mr. Rogers neighborhood socks. Maybe I'll wear them if I ever have to wear a suit or something. Isn't that beautiful? This is good luck socks. I don't know about that, but let's see what else is here. Oh, well, this is wonderful. Sam the American Eagle magnet, which I'm gonna, and a sticker, and they're both. Says you're all a bunch of weirdos. There's a sticker here, which I'll say, and this magnet I'm gonna put on the fridge in real time. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that remarkable? Let's see what else is here. Potential YouTube video fodder. The original Hero decks present country music legend playing cards featuring 52 of the greatest recording artists in history. This deck is sure to be a hit with country music fans of all ages. There's Reba and Willie and Kenny Rogers and Waylon and a black man. I am Johnny Cash. So this is great. Underwear. We got some underwear here. Sunday morning attire options. Let's just tear into these, huh? These are gummy bears. There's gummy bears on here. That's adorable. That's pair one. These are eggplant, which I find, quite frankly, grotesque and graphic. And finally, ducks, inflatable ducks in a pool. It's a stretch knit trunk. It's very kind of you. And she's not done. True to her code. This is not done. More potential YouTube video fodder. Hollywood Walk of Fame trading cards. Especially curated for RJ. Okay. So I can't open these now. I'll do them in a separate video in a few weeks. This is fantastic. And this one might make you emotional, so maybe open privately or not. Okay, or not. Oh, isn't that's adorable? That's very sweet. I should really send one of these to maybe David. Would love to know what the business of these are. The answer for card 100. They would put trivia on the back of them. The answer for card 100 for those who have it, Carl Malden. So you guys can check that off your list now. Thank you, Christine. I'm going to dig into these closer later. Oh, and treats for Sylvia. I didn't even you cover all the bases. This is very kind of you. I'm very touched. Happy Father's Day to me. Now I'm way far behind. Itchy anus questions. Mia said, where were you when you did that? Hey, those seats were very comfortable. Portland. We were in Portland. One of my favorite hotels and one of my favorite arenas. It's a really nice little place. Chronic Snake said, sometimes I find the bleep funnier. Yes and no. I'm also like, if it's fuck, if it's the C word, that was the thing I was going to say. There was a big hubbub about bleeping shit. I'm like, guys, like, just let it go. We say it on TV all the time. We have to suddenly bleep it on YouTube. It's ridiculous. Nell says, as long as you don't swear the first 10 seconds, you're okay monetization-wise. Guess it's just whether you're bothered about kids otherwise. And I also think sometimes the shows get clipped up. Like the thumbnail had the word shit on it today with an exclamation mark over the I. I don't know if that affects anything. We're experimenting. But you'll hack the algorithm regardless. Neil said, I hope we have an Italian person in the chat. Neil said, I would have played Third Eye Blind Jumper. What? Neil said, now that we don't know who the guest will be until Sunday mornings, do you actually know too? We didn't get a members clue this week. Are those stopping too? Well, I thought my notification yesterday sort of stood as the clue. Maybe I'll bring the clues back. I think that's perhaps better. I can do a members clue. Yeah, I know who the guest is going to be. I don't know who the guest is going to be next week because we haven't filmed it yet. But we'll get there. So hang in. They figured and it makes sense. You want to make sure you drive to the link once the video's up with the video. So we'll see. Mikey said, my son also gave me some Lego, so maybe I'm safe. No, you're going to step on it and kill yourself. But Sandy said, what are the chances that you'll get on the new version of Match Game? It'll be recorded in Montreal. What? Let me look this up. That's so bizarre. I guess because Martin's short and he's Canadian and they get the tax credits. Let's see who else is on it. I can be a contestant, which I don't want to be. That's fascinating. The episode is being revived by ABC. The crew will be in Montreal mid-June to film, so it's not happening. Fremantle Media, a big-time game show and media producer. Let's see what else they do. Productions. Give me a list. Too Hot to Handle, The Piano, Password. They did the latest Password. They do the Got Talent series, X Factor, Family Feud. So they do everything. Deadliest Catch, Former Want a Wife, Hole in the Wall, Price is Right. Jesus. So this is well covered. Drama and Film, a bunch of shows I've never heard of. The Young Pope and New Pope, that I've heard of. Haven't heard of anything else. Documentaries. Everyone's cranking out documentaries. Planet Sex. Never heard this. Kingdom of Dreams. Made of Money with Brian Cox. All right, sure. Whatever. Sounds good. Marvelous Nick Markey said, my girlfriend hates your shoes without socks look when we wash. I have socks. They are low cut. They are appropriate to the shoe. Tell her to mind her own business. Efren said, thoughts on Brian Wilson? I've been really getting into a Dr. Eugene Landy kick. Who, if you don't know, when Brian had the breakdown, was his doctor that intervened and sort of took over the guy's life, which is fucking fascinating. But he's the strangest person. If you ever let me see if I can pull up a picture of him. That's what's really occupying my time when it comes to Brian Wilson. There's the doctor there next to Brian. He's fascinating. And they're often touching in pictures. I mean, there's a homoerotic element to their relationship. Isn't it crazy that your jacket's so gay? It's gay, they're being shirtless. What are these guys doing? No, it's a weird. There's a lot of pictures like this, which I find disturbing. Not a photo I want to take with my doctor or therapist ever. So I'm digging into more of that. Leo said Greg Valentine on, hey, we're going to go to StarCast. So who knows if Tito will be there. Mike said, I made my kid's nursery a Mr. Rogers thing. Isn't that adorable? Oh, please wear the gummy. I've lost my place. Nell said, oh, please wear the gummy bears next week. Mia said, you must wear the eggplant now. Nell said, Christine's the best gift giver. Can't wait for that video. Morris Nick Mundy said, oh, it was Carl Malden. Hannibal said, happy Sunday, happy Father's Day to those who are and to those who aren't and to those who aren't sure. Nell said, well, you have to show Christine babies now or Sylvia, surely. Well, I don't know why you're orchestrating everything, Nails. I didn't know you were the arbiter of everything here. Here's Victoria enjoying a hearty espresso for a child. I think that's great. Let me see. Really low on the... Oh boy, we've been really slacking off. Let me see if I can. There's the kid. Cute kid, huh? All right, you get the gist. Runny nose. That's embarrassing. Mr. Scott said, Carl Malden. Who is the guy from the American Express Traveler's Checks commercials from the 80s, Alex? Matt Sandy said, when AW was in Atlantic City, I went to the hotel gym and Josh was there. Can I now say I worked out with him? Sure. Susan said, Charlie Pride, African-American country music star in the Heroes Desk. Okay, Susan, you have to make it look like an asshole. Sorry, I'm not up on all my country music stars. Mia said, who is your favorite cast member of The View since I see you drinking out of the mug? It's hard not to love Joy. Joy's really been the rock. Beyond Barbara and Whoopi, Joy is the one constant. This show is really about Joy. Leo said, what are your thoughts on Wardlow on American Gladiators? He'll fuck some people up. I hope they keep the old theme. And Camille and Rick Boogs, whatever his name is. Eric Bugenhagen. It's a nice one. And J Rod, wonderful indie wrestler. They'll all be fucking people up. Good for them. Mess Andy said Fremantle owns most of the classic games on bus. So sons of a bitches. Efren said, damn game show people. Christine said, Nelson Colonial Connection. Leo said, is it the funniest reaction to someone getting pied in the face is when they wipe it from their eyes first? Absolutely. And then they have to, there's that shake. It's not this. If it's just this, no good. It's Nell said he gets so irritated when people accuse him of not wearing socks. This is a fucking lie. May said, I just love guys that wear purple. Christine said, how do you feel about the Bare Naked Lady song, Brian Wilson? I'm not deep enough into the Bare Naked Ladies catalog to give an opinion on that. Unfortunately. I would love to, but I don't think I can. Zoel said, I love the idea of bringing back the Hey Clues. I will do that. Marvelous Nick said, RJ, give me good vibrations, but I gotta run. Have a great week, homie. Mia said, Nails, I get irritated too since he's wearing socks you can clearly see. AKA Baldy, been member for 36 months. His mauve beret. It feels like you do that every week. Nails said, I just like Christine to be acknowledged. Shut up, no socks. Nails are on question. Leader, Miss Andy said, have you seen the Tito Santana cameo going around where he talks about someone crapping his pants? Yes, I have. And good for him. Good for Tito or Ariba. Leo said country stars like Sabrina Carpenter and Morgan Wallen. What? Who do you have a gripe with now, Leo? El Fantasma Rojo said, good morning. I watched a new episode of Hey. It was a great episode. I like Josh. Susan said, did you see the American Gladiators documentary series? I love how there are two of them. There's competing ones to tell those both sides. What side are you on? Leo said, that ripped girl that used to have braces on American Gladiators. What? James said, Gino Carano back this season of American. I think the co-host is Layla Ali. Miss Andy said, I'm sure you know that Frank Santopadre writes for Joy Buddy Howard. I do know that. I'm in love with the guy. He's an answer me, but I'm in love with him. 4i says, I hope American Gladiators ditches that weird cyber future aesthetic that made the revival so god-awful. Well, it was a different time. And now things are coming back. You know, America's stable as a country. We'll be celebrating unbridled patriotism through American Gladiators. Dara said, Orange Cassidy used to do Twitch streams where we would watch old episodes of the UK version of Gladiator on YouTube. Christine said, that's the exact reason I respected Bare Naked Ladies. Ellie said, the only thing I know about the Bare Naked Ladies from 1 week and the theme to the Big Bang Theory. Ooh, forgot about that. Leo said, remember Hulk Hogan doing that awful Gladiator revivals into that with Layla Ali? Am I crazy? We got one in the UK in the 2000s that was horrendous. They swapped the crash mats for a swimming pool. So fucking stupid. It's probably for legal reasons. Efren said, I went to an American Gladiators taping in season 2. Show started taping at 6 p.m. It took 45 minutes to set up each event and tear down. At 1:30 a.m., the Eliminator hadn't even been started to be set up. What did they do for you in the meantime, Efren? Do they have a warm-up comedian? Did they give away shit? Did they do anything? Or were they like, look, this is fucking free. Sit there and shut up. Leo said, hey, it's not my fault. Modern pop culture is literally terrible. Well, I think it always is. Leo said, have you seen the Come Town bit on Bare Naked Ladies? Also, no. Cam said, have you seen the Sesame Street Bare Naked Ladies? Have you seen about the Bare Naked Ladies this week? Austin said, RJ, how stoked are you for Tony versus Monet? It's going to be a classic. It's going to fucking burn some barns, my friend. Shit is going to go down. Speaking of, shit's going to go down in Mexico. We're going there on Wednesday. I'm going there Tuesday night. I've never been before. I'm excited. I'm terrified. Who knows who I could get for hey? I'm very ready. James said Tito Santana's cousin was country music legend Ariba McIntyre. This is Bobby Heenanism. Neil said, did you see Taz's tweet that Hook is in the movie? I didn't know. Yes, the name of the movie is, I'll look at, because I was told about this a while ago. It's in the Tribeca Film Festival. It's a short film. It's called Money Talks. The movie follows the adventures of a $100 bill in 1981 New York City. It's directed by Tony Mucci, who has an extensive background in making music videos. Hook is credited as Mystery Man on the film's IMDb page. That is the most known Mystery Man ever. A promotional photo for the movie shows him brandishing a handgun and shouting. Tribeca Film Festival is set to return June 4th to the 15th this year in New York. So I guess it premiered last night. Money Talks, the film on Instagram. If you want to click and maybe see the second picture is Hook holding a gun and yelling inside someone's mouth, which is wonderful. It's just fascinating. So Lee Griggs is in it. I don't know who anyone is. What difference does that make? When has that ever stopped me before? It'll be a nice time. Mia said, so for all in Texas, does your outfit include a cowboy hat, boots, and chaps? Here's my issue with Texas. Is that everyone feels like they have a fucking gun to their head to wear a cowboy hat. And it's like, now we're all in cowboy hats. It's just like a synagogue where we all have to wear yarmulkes. I'm not participating in the cowboy culture at all. Somebody has to dress like it's the biggest pay-per-view of the year and not hee-haw. Renee's wearing some red leather snakeskin outfit. So I could either go with that or compliment it. I've chosen to compliment it. The suit is on the way. I'm getting it today. I'm going to pick it up today. It's going to be a nice time. Big time stuff. Four Ice 5 said, RJ, thoughts on Resident Evil 9? Let me see if that's... I didn't even realize there was a fucking trailer. I had no idea about any of this. The one Resident Evil I played was the one. This is how long ago it was. It was on Wii. And then much later, I played it in the Oculus. And it scared me when I played the Wii, and it still scared me in the Oculus. But I was much more comfortable with it. That's a beautiful game. One of my favorite games. Leo said, when are you going to go on the Adam Friedland show? I don't know. You fucking text him. Don't stop putting all the pressure on me. I'm doing enough. I'll happily go. Many of these things, require two people. You want a guest on Hey? You want Kenny Omega on Hey? Tweet him. You've asked me. People ask me every week. Has one person tweeted him? It's a question. Mercedes, Don, they're all online. Has anyone asked them? You want me to go on Friedland? I'll go. I'm available. Does he want to have me? Has anyone contacted him? Messani said, speaking of American Gladiators, did you get to interact with Rico Constantino much when he appeared at AEW? I have a Hey written. I almost did a Hey with him we couldn't get it done that day because of the circumstances of the whole day. And it drives me crazy because I was excited. It was the research was good. There was a lot of shit there. And also, I think he would have been a good guest. So hopefully we can get him back. Fuck. That's my white whale, Rigo Constantino. Christine's been a member for 46 months. I'm afraid the WrestleLand's brunch will be at the same time as the Swerve, Nana, or Tony Storm photo op. So if we show up late, it's not my fault. I will say it's not at the same time as the Tony Storm photo op. A lot of these things have been coordinated. I also fucking hate. So let me rant about Starcast before I go do this show. Last time we did it in Chicago, there was 20 fucking shows going on at the same time. It was ridiculous. My show was going on at the same time as Ryan Nemeth's comedy show. So if you like comedy and wrestling, it's fucking Sophie's choice, I guess. This is nuts. Does everyone have to have a fucking panel? Does everyone have to drone on about their fucking shit? Or can we just have a couple concerted shows that everyone can attend, and then we can do the photo ops? Fuck. Rob said, wait, the gun is in someone's mouth, or he's yelling in someone's mouth? So it's a mouth. Let me pull up the picture. It's easier if I... See, it's a mouth, and he's got the gun, and he's yelling. You get it? You understand? It's the old Hey Vern, it's Ernest show gag. Double pit stop. What are we talking about? Maybe a tiny hat? But no hats. Aren't you going to be hot in a suit? Not if it's a light summery seersucker suit. I'm going to be hot no matter what I wear. Also, we got to be mic'd. So you need something to sort of hide the mic and hold the mic. Hannibal said, my wife told me she saw American Gladiators filmed as a kid when she went to Orlando. I knew they didn't film it there. I found out she actually went to a short-lived American Gladiators dinner show. Looking that up right now. Dinner theater. Oh, boy. The American Gladiators Orlando Live dinner show was a live entertainment experience in Kissimmee, Florida. Ran from 95 to 98. Not bad. It featured gladiators like Ice, Sky, Hawk, and Gemini, and included events like The Wall, Breakthrough and Conquer, and The Eliminator, mirroring the popular TV show. It was produced by Peter Blaustein. Dinner show's popular attraction, a unique blend of athletic competition. It's like medieval times. It took place on Highway 192, popular tourist destination. See if I can find any more information on this. The building is still there. Let me see. Orlando Live. Ooh, look at this. There's merch. You can get an American Gladiators Orlando. There is I'm just going to drop the link and people can click on it. There's a 30-minute infomercial on the American Gladiators live show. That's fucking wild. This is, wow. That's incredible. Can't lose as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for that. I had no idea about this. You know, I always when we first did Splat-A-Lot, it's like, oh, we're gonna have merch, we're gonna have action figures, we're gonna have like a live touring show, and that was all nice in the pitch doc, you know. El Phantasma said, "Have you ever heard of or played Subnautica?" No, let me look it up. Oh, I'm not fucking playing that. That'll fucking drive me insane. I'll lose my fucking mind playing this game. You kidding me? No, absolutely not. I tapped out at Echo the Dolphin. Austin said, "Can we get a Kenny and RJ underwear stream again? Please invent a catchphrase for sitcom characters that famously. Please invent a catchphrase for sitcom characters that famously never had a catchphrase." That's great. I remember Tony Danza would say, "What am I going to do with this mop?" That way, and then everyone would laugh and applaud, and that was a really, really good time. And do you remember Brooke Shields on Suddenly Susan would always go, "I'm late." These are great. James said, "RJ, what are your thoughts on Mark Maron ending his WTF podcast?" I mean, good for him. He seems like it's okay. 16 years is a very long time, and one of the few shows with that kind of duration that kept its integrity and largely retained its format. I was happy to be on a subsidiary of the show. Brendan is a big wrestling fan. Mark Maron is not. He dabbled. He dipped his toe in a couple times. And, they're not dead. They're going to go on and do other stuff. And I think it's nice. I think it's nice and lovely. Neil said, "Are you going to retweet people who ask for guests or just leave us hanging?" That's me begging. They want to see the fan demand. They want to know the people want it, not me. I'll talk to anybody. Put a fucking shoe on the show. I got to interview a fucking shoe. I've had some hoofers before, so I'm not picky. Leo said, "See, I just tagged you in an Adam Friedland post." That remains to be seen. Let's see how this goes. Get RJ City on the show. Great. And then he'll click on your profile and go, "This was ultimately a mistake." Does anyone remember the American Gladiators clone, the Battle Dome? Let me look that up. And then I will share one that I remember. Battle Dome. Yeah, only lasted 2 years. With scripted antics more reminiscent of professional wrestling. Filmed at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. Wow. The announcer for the show was Steve Albert, brother of Marv. Seth Stockton served the referee and the entire run. Downtown Julie Brown appeared in early episodes as the sideline correspondent. The chairman, whose face remained off camera, oversaw the proceedings. Halfway through the show's run, Farrell and Brown were replaced by Ed Lover and Bryn Brakely, and the chairman was dropped from the show. So it was like a little more worked. Jeez. They had championship belts, so it was just like wrestling. In addition to male competition, season 2 added a female special where 5 women competed against each other, with the Warriors acting as coaches. They had perfect 10 miles. This is where this all came together. Terry Crews was on the show. In the fall of 2000, the stars of Battle Dome and WCW began a brief cross-promotional feud, kicked off when wrestlers disrupted a Battle Dome taping. In retaliation, Team Money, Kuda, and Mike Odell began heckling the audience as DDP spoke to the Chicago crowd. The feud between these men continued as far as November 20th, mere months before the buyout of WCW. So there's another one I remember, and it was my favorite. I was crazy about this show. It was called Blade Warriors. And it was American Gladiators, but on rollerblades. It was so good. Let me show everybody a photo. Blade Warriors. It's just like American Gladiators, but on rollerblades. And it was great. I thought it was, when it came out, I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was nutty about the show, and then I don't know what happened. Neil said, I mean, I've had Josh now, so I'm probably not asking anymore. You got a lot of fucking... Christine, what episode was that? Let me guess. Let me take a blind guess. 146? Gregory Iron is the funniest wrestler. Well, that's a shame. John said, we need more comedy in wrestling, not less. More good comedy in wrestling, not less. Ash said, I was so mad they put both your shoes... Oh, I was so mad that they put both of your shows at the same time. I went to yours, but I really also wanted to be at his. Also, don't bother with the Max Caster concert if he has it again. He's just getting people to sign the petition. Speaking of comedy shows, any updates on the Chicago show in July? From what I understand, it will be July 24th, which is a Thursday. It's not been officially confirmed yet. There will be a poster. There will be a rollout. There will be a guest list. Hang in there. And also, there may be some information coming regarding Starcast. Kyle said, hey, RJ, I love Josh Alexander's. Hey, I just finished watching it. Leo said, why is Black Mirror so bloody awful now? I like the pig bang and stuff in the early seasons. Whatever season where the guy went into the video game to have sex with the other guy was like the last okay season. And even then it was hit or miss. I also think, Black Mirror's been on for a very long time. I like the short episode format. I wish they had those few, like pre-Netflix. It was great. And then, since then, they also had that awful Twilight Zone reboot, which nobody talks about, and with good reason. Sometimes things get too big and it lose sight of what it's supposed to be. That's why I've intentionally stayed so small. James said, I think that same building showed Roller Jam back in 99, 2001. So thank you for reminding me of that. Roller Jam also went through that period when it was on TNN before ECW or after ECW, where it became more scripted. These weird storylines. It's a shame. Christine said, with all your travels, did you miss out on all the closeout sales at the Bay? Noted giant Canadian department store that's going out of business. The Bay. Historical. Yes, I did. But listen, I bought enough shit from there over the years. I think we're good. They got their money from me. And they didn't manage it. Zoel has a scene request. I haven't done a scene in a while. The new American Gladiators host is a personal injury lawyer and is tasked with describing the event. And it is an exciting final round. The Eliminator here today. We're going to have a great time. There's Todd Jones there. He's a wonderful contestant from South Dakota. He's got a bright future ahead of him, not only personally, but professionally too, if he has all his ducks in a row. And he is facing off against Fender Laser. Fender Laser is a very strong competitor, could be physically reckless. Hope he adheres to the rules of safety. I also hope that floor is mopped and dry because it could be quite a liability for everyone involved, not only the contestants, but the crew as well. Something to note there. Okay. And they're beginning and they're running and he's fallen. Todd Jones has fallen, which, if I had my druthers, could net him somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000, $20,000. Oh, but he's back up. He's climbing the rope. Is that rope properly waxed? That's a question that we should all be asking internally before we sign anything. That could net him maybe another $10,000. He's going on the zipline thing. Has that thing been oiled at all? Because it looks a little rickety. If it's rickety, if it's not been checked, that's a building code violation. That could give you even $40,000. Quite frankly, you could get more money if you lose this thing. And see. John said, I'm surprised you don't have RJ City T's brother. What? I imagine looking like the intro for Frasier, but your name. Yeah, I do have those. ProWrestlingTees.com/RJ City. Go now. Christine said, I think we should market the show to armpit enthusiasts. I'm trying to stretch. You're welcome. She had a Gladiator Live American reboot, which led me down the rabbit hole. I'll try to find it, and if so, I'll send it your way. Messiani said, Marin definitely appreciates wrestling. I don't know about that. Chronic Six said, I like the way the guy would yell, contender ready, gladiator ready. Hannibal said, I think the battle don't have Terry Crews. Yes, that's correct. Neil said, I can't believe how big the crossover Venn diagram is with cultists and Gladiator fans. Did not see that coming. Leo said, which defunct venue would you most wish AEW could use? Club La Vela, which WCW used for Spring Breakout, or Horror Arena, which ECW and WCW use regularly? I will say this. Every old, distinct WCW venue, those pool ones, the Spring Break, the fucking Hog Wild, whatever that shit is, I guarantee you TK has at least looked into them to just see where they're at. So certain ones, if they're viable, if they're plausible, I think he's very tempted to do it. One of the venues I suggested was the Hollywood Bowl. Mia said, what's the cheat meal for today? I already had some pancakes and what else? I've had some pancakes. That's it. It's good. So far, so good. Maybe Italian ice tonight. I'm in the mood. When I was in Italy, it was all gelatos. They was too creamy. I want some fucking sugar-flavored ice. You know what I'm saying? Hannibal said, I remember Knights and Warriors. In the UK, we had Ice Warriors, which was gladiators on ice. It lasted one season. I got to look that up, too. It's fantastic. Efren said, I will die on that roller game. Anthony Kingdom James is here for the first time in a very, very long time. Comic book writer, professional wrestler, comedian, storyteller, humorist, a pro wrestling promoter. And I think Kingdom is responsible for having a show. He used to run these shows. And Josh Alexander was on the show. I was on the show. And Chris Hero. And I believe that's where Chris Hero told Josh Alexander to change his name from Jay Felix. I believe it was in that venue. Let me look up the union shows. The website is activewrestlersunion.ca. Is there like a history? Title history. Let's just look at the heavyweight championship title history. No, it's not. It won't let me go to it. Okay. All right. Sponsorships, union workers. No, also doesn't let me go to it. Fucking shit. Okay. We'll figure this out. Is it like a cagematch.net kind of thing? Here we go. Events. Oh, but the first ones were in Erie. Let's see when they moved to Toronto. 2007. UIPW Born Again. Oh, this is some wild. I wasn't even on this show. That fucking hurts. I think we must have did a dark match or something. All right, let me look at the next one. State of Shock. Here we go. Rip Impact defeats Hentai. Then the Olsen twins, Colin Olsen and Jimmy Olsen, defeat the Wild Stallions, Joey Valentine and RJ City, which is a nice reference to what Josh said at the end of the episode. Brody Lee defeats Ethan Page. The Masked Hideous Blob defeats Eddie Osborne. Sterling James Keenan defeats Ricky Reyes. Let's see what the next one is. This is fascinating. Did I only do one show for them? Maybe. Kingdom didn't care for me too much. Here it is. Okay, we're back. Ash, Brent, Jennifer Blake defeats Mommy Tsunami. RJ City defeats Scotty O'Shea. Josh Alexander defeats Mike Rollins. Ethan Page is on the show. Steve Corino is on the show. Yes, Josh Alexander defeats Steve Corino. Look at all of us here. Just cutting our teeth, you know. Kingdom said, what celebrity do you most wish you could get to make an AEW appearance, and why is it Paul Reiser? This is a great question. We want to do more Ben Mankiewicz, but I feel like that's a given. I would love Dick Cavett. I think would be excellent. He could just do a voiceover for something. I would like to get celebrity voiceovers like that. Michael Rappaport did such great ones for AEW. He's got such a soothing voice. Paul Reiser, Helen Hunt, I think would be interested. I think she would be game. Tony Collette, I think he's another one that comes to mind. I remember Knights and Warriors had Hannibal. In the UK, we had Ice War. Oh, I just fucking read that. Miss Andy said Don Callis yelling Roller Jam during ECW and TNA shows is all that I remember of Roller Jam. You should really go look it up. It's a great show. Roller Jam should have been the lead-in for ECW. Brian Gamble, a Roller Jam alum, wrestled Perry Saturn in a WWE match. James said, RJ, did you ever get up the Godspeed and God Bless t-shirt yet? No, not yet. So Corey said, hi, RJ. Hope you're having a nice day. Love from Manitoba, which never happens. Miss Andy said, AEW could run shows at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. They still host shows there, and a lot of famous WWE stories happen there. A lot of infamous WWE stories happen there. James said, I'd love to see AEW run in Florence, South Carolina, the other Florence. Kingdom said, check your text messages for something about Jay Phoenix, RJ. Terrific video, Josh, today. I was kind of shocked that you brought up this. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'll say it here, but suffice to say, our assumptions seem to be correct about that old name. I guess that did not come up in my research. I just remember the old stories from lore. You know, it's also before Me Too and speaking out. So who knew? Who knew? I just heard he was not a nice guy. And I thought that was enough to go on. I didn't think I was catching anyone. And nevertheless, thanks. And I'm glad. Imagine if he turned out to be good, ran for mayor, and helped with the community, and how bad I would feel after this episode dropped. Now, I feel like I'm doing a fucking public service. Kingdom also claims, what are you talking about? I booked you 3 or 4 times. You booked me more than that. And didn't we work at Zombie Wrestling? Nuts. You're a real piece of shit. I wrestled on the last union show ever, or at least the last one that's listed on Cage Match, called Never Say Never, and I lost to Space Monkey. So thanks for the rub. Josh was also on that show. Oh, Kingdom, it looks like you won. That's fascinating. And then that show was after an event called Union Final Event. This is great. Sleazy as Sparks. Everyone's here. The Great Canadian Bash you came up with. I did. Okay, I wrestled a lot here. I'll take that all back now. Steve Brown defeats Grimbo. I remember Grimbo. Let's see, what else? Slamaluna. So Slamaluna was, and I didn't bring this up to him, and I should have. Fuck me. I'm going to have another episode with Josh now. Josh and I wrestled for a cast party for the Cirque du Soleil shows. I see Kingdom wrote it there. He also worked for me on the Cirque du Soleil show. You had a shot at Josh's title. We wrestled outside of the circus tent in the dark, in the rain, surrounded by acrobats and clowns and jugglers and things of that nature. And I cut a promo saying that all the acrobats are on a steady diet of powdered donuts and cigarettes. And someone pulled me aside later and said, "How did you know that?" That was fun. It was a rare opportunity. And then we got tickets to the show. I remember. Why this is all coming back to me now. Kyle said, "Did he turn out like the other guys that wrestled Perry Saturn in WWE? Is his top of his head flat now?" Sakura said, "Thank you for reading my comment. Loved you as Gildar." Some people still do. Nell said, "Oh, he's in prison, isn't he?" Christine said, "Space Monkey is pretty great, though." James said, "Kyle Thompson, no clue, kind of faded into obscurity." Christine said, "I love the instant Space Monkey defense." Kingdom said, 300 Cirque du Soleil performers and staff and crew. Not 100 of them, 300 of them, all looking, saying, "What the fuck is this? We do a better job than this. We're more athletic than this. Why are we watching these people?" I also think I hit Josh in the balls by accident that day. But, we had a good time. Christine said, "Powdered donut or powdered donut?" No, not cocaine. I mean sugar donuts. Kyle said, "I faded into obscurity." Explains a lot, actually. Kingdom said, "And two of them, of the Cirque du Soleil performers, tried to hit the ring." They did. And I beat them away, right? I fucked them up like it was Nitro and I was Randy Savage. And I just crushed their skulls. Like I always, Kingdom booked me because I was the shooter. I was the enforcer. If stuff went down in the ring, I would handle it. Or in the locker room. I ran a tight ship. No bullshit. No fucking around. If I was there, everyone was in line. Kingdom said, "You can't stop an acrobat at a paid show." But what if he asks for it? What if it's his bit? What if it's Stompy the Clown? What if it's one of those guys? Kyle said, "RK, will you ever have a match in AEW?" No. Kingdom said, "Shooter? Oh, Jesus, you lying, suit hiding bastard." Oh, that's right. I hid your suit. Didn't I hide your suit? Oh, my God. So you, as true to all these great promoters, got to dress up on the show, taking ourselves seriously, putting on my top hat. But you would also have to run around and do all this other shit. So you'd be fucking sweating all day. So you couldn't wear the suit all day. You would wear whatever in the day and then change into the suit before the show, which means the suit was left hanging up. And I thought, this is the busiest day of his life. What better way to cause him more stress than to hide his suit? And yes, it was right before the show. Has anyone seen my suit? That's a good one. I think that's pretty good. That was the lighter side. I wasn't a hard ribber. I was more of a nuisance. And that was a really, really good example. Unless someone was fucking around, then I'd shoot on them. Then I'd stretch them. Then they'd leave 3 inches taller. You know what I'm saying? The old hooker days. Kingdom said, "I hit it." I don't even remember this. I hit it in the women's washroom, knowing it was the last place that Kingdom would look or be allowed to look. That's fucking remarkable. It is such a joy to forget stuff and hear it back and like it. That's what makes things worth it. You just need to stay alive long enough to forget things and then hear them back. And then life is okay. Kingdom said it was genius, but it was evil genius. Well, on that note, that is the show. On the back of this, go watch the latest AEW with Josh Alexander. And now you can get all the references. AEW's YouTube. Go like, go watch, go comment, go share. I'll be around. It'll be a nice time. I'm going to Mexico. Everything's going to be weird. I hope I can find my suit. Let's get a final look at these. Thank you to Kingdom and everyone for joining us. In the meantime, Godspeed.